Champions Cup Sunday games, Monday here in New Zealand. There are 3 games on. Gloucester, Connacht, Sale, Exeter, and Toulouse against Montpellier. I guess it makes it a bit interesting that 2 of the 3 matches are kind of rivalries, I guess, and that 2 Premiership teams up against each other and 2 top 14 teams against each other, with the first one being, top 14 against, not top 14, Pro 14 against the Premiership. So, yeah, different teams in different places. I'm going to get cracking straight into the first one because my daughter is being bathed by my wife, and I've got about as long as that bath takes to get through this before she comes out happy and clean and screaming. Screaming in a good way. This video is going a bit weird, isn't it? Gloucester against Connacht. Gloucester's not doing too well. They're none from 2 in the Champions Cup. They have picked up a couple of losing bonus points. They haven't been bad from what I've seen of them, but they haven't managed to get any wins. Yeah, they could definitely use a win here, or like Bath, they will be pretty much done. Connacht had a couple of good performances again, but it was a win and a loss. Connacht are 3rd on the table in their pool. Gloucester are obviously 4th. It's a tough pool with Toulouse and Montpellier in there as well. Connacht had that good win over Montpellier to start with, but then against Toulouse, it was over the course of the year a bit tough. Gloucester on paper, man, it's another one. Kind of like I look at the Bath side, and they got a good coach as well. So I'm not sure what quite the deal is, but Cipriani, Thorley's class. Chris Harris, Ben Morgan, Jake Pelledri, who's been just phenomenal. Rowan Ackerman, Franco Mostert. There's a bunch of talented guys in this team. Billy 12 Trees is on the bench. Callum Brayley. The good squad, man. They should be able to light things up a wee bit. Let's hope they finally click. Like I said, from memory, and there's been that many games on, I can't remember them all, but from memory, they've not been bad. They just haven't been able to quite get over the line. Getting one over Connacht is not going to guarantee them anything, but it would certainly avoid pretty much certain failure in the comp, essentially. For Connacht, like I said, they are 3rd, so a win and a loss. They've had injuries in recent times. But when I look at this squad, they got Bundy Aki back in. He didn't play the last round of the Champions Cup. Colby Fainga still going on. Quinn Roos still there. Jared Butler. Jack Carty, Kyle Goblin. Interesting they're playing Kyle Goblin on the wing a fair bit. I'm not sure if that's due to injuries or just a positional switch for him. Generally, when he was back in Super Rugby, he was almost always in the midfield. So that will be an interesting one to see how he goes as well. The bookies have got Gloucester by 8, and the forecast, which is the algorithm rugby forecast, has got Gloucester by 7. So kind of predicted to pick up a win at last. I think Toulouse would certainly be hoping that Gloucester gets a win and then they go on and beat Montpellier, because that would see them kind of sailing to the top of the pool even further with a bit of a margin. The next one, which is Sale up against Exeter, and like I mentioned, it's 2 Premiership teams. I don't think they've met in the Premiership yet this season, although we're only a handful of rounds into it this season. So it should be an interesting one. Exeter, compared to last season, have hit the Champions Cup flying. They are maximum points. They're first in the pool with 10 points out of a possible 10. So they are absolutely gunning it, whereas Sale are on 5 points. They've had a win and a loss. Haven't really set the world alight as yet, but still very much alive with that record. Again, a fair few South Africans in that side with a couple of talented brothers. Oosthuizen, Akavanda Merva, those are top guys I remember from their days in the Sharks and Super Rugby. The other Sharks, Tom Curry, Ben Curry in the back row. Chris Ashton, record try-scoring man. Ryan Jansen van Rensburg, he's a top-class player. Faf de Klerk and Robert Dupree. Good 9-10 combo, certainly big boots on both of those chaps. So I guess they'll be looking to control the game. But Exeter is a tough side coming to town. Hepburn, Cowan Dickey, and Harry Williams in that front row. Interestingly, Dave Dennis is captaining this week. I'm pretty sure he didn't captain the last Champions Cup round, but he used to captain the Waratahs, so no shortage of experience for him. Sam Simmons has been outstanding in the Champions Cup thus far. Nick White with his big boot again. That'll be an interesting battle to see him going up against Faf de Klerk. Henry Slade, Jack Knowles, Stuart Hoggle fullback. Exeter are the team at the moment in the Champions Cup. I think they have hit the ground running better than anybody else thus far, which is great to see compared to when I saw them last year, and it was all a bit kind of lackluster with that big name didn't really carry forward into big results, and they didn't make it out the pool. But so far, so good. Interestingly, I guess the home advantage is a thing, but Exeter is still favourites. The bookies have got Exeter by 3, and Rugby Forecast has got Exeter by 1. So predicted to be very, very close. But as I said, Exeter are that form team, so we'll see how well that carries through over to this game on Monday here in New Zealand. The last one, which is Toulouse up against Montpellier. Couple of French sides, a few big names on both sides, kind of big clubs. Toulouse are on 9 points, so they haven't done quite what Exeter have done yet, in that they haven't seemed like an all-conquering side. I mean, neither have Leinster thus far, but they were the favourites going into this competition. Montpellier, with that first loss to Connacht, were a bit disappointing, but they came back pretty good last week, or the week before, sorry, which was the last round of the Champions Cup. So they're on 5 points. They are second in the pool. Yeah, I think Toulouse just need to get another win at home and just hope all these sides just keep taking points off each other and not one really looks like chasing them down. That would be ideal for them. But they've got a whole bunch of internationals in their side. I mean, Rory Arnold's there, former Wallaby, Takori, Elstad, Cruz, Jerome Kano, former All Black, Roman Mtamak, and Sofiane Katoun, a couple of French internationals. Medard and Hujay, more French internationals. Thomas Ramos. So, yeah, man, that Toulouse side isn't going to let up. Interestingly, Cheslin Colby is only on the bench for this one, but he will no doubt come on. And fancy facing him when you're tired and he's fresh. Not ideal, but Montpellier, again, it's a side which is not exactly full of slouches. Immelman's at the back. He's a good player for us. Then gets a start at 12. And Ndolo's there on the left wing. That'll be interesting. Him go up against Hujay. Bismarck Duplessis playing. Paul Willems, Kamara, Picamos, all these guys are starting. So, I mean, you got to like Toulouse in that one, and so do the bookies. 11 points is what they say. Rugby Forecast has got it by 9. I like to think it'll be a little bit closer than that, because I'm pretty sure Montpellier had a good result in the top 14 recently, so not that it's a competition I get to follow that closely, but yeah. Still, I think Toulouse will be favourites. Exeter, even though I've got nothing against Sale, it'd be nice to really see them absolutely dominate and go through as one of the top English teams, because some of the other English teams have been struggling a wee bit thus far. Connacht against Gloucester. It'd be nice for Connacht to get an upset, but I mean, I do like Johan Ackerman as well, so I'm kind of torn on that one. 2 a.m., 4:15 a.m., and 4:15 a.m. are my choices. So I'm still figuring out which games I'm going to watch. It's a Monday, and it's a work Monday, so not ideal, but we will work something out. You guys let me know your thoughts on these games. How do you think they are going to go? Are you picking the favourites, which is Gloucester, Exeter, and Toulouse, or can you see an upset anywhere? That middle one, apparently, at least according to the experts, is the closest one on paper. But yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts, and I will talk to you again soon. See you later.